can set different distances for our monthly required target practice. We're required to shoot from the 15-foot line, the 21-foot line, 30-foot line, 48 and 72-foot line. And it's nice where before we had a lot more movement in shooting in the stalls. Now that this system does everything for you. Typically when we're shooting any kind of qualifications, we have an officer who manages the control room, and they'll give us different commands. They can program in the different distances, program different courses for us to shoot. But it is very user-friendly, so if we're in here by ourselves, we can do it pretty easily ourselves. The range is accommodated to shoot just about all handgun rounds and most rifle rounds. That was one of the few specifications that took the range to be completed, as long as it did. But it's where before we had an outdoor range and an indoor range, we used them for different purposes. Now we use the one range indoor on the second floor, and it can really accommodate us for all the training. This PRISM system is a program. It's a hardware and software program that can interface scenario-based training and our ability to use our weapons that we carry every day. We use our real rounds, our actual weapon. You're not using pretend weapons, you're not using replicas, you're not using simunitions, you're not using paint guns. You're using the weapon that is your sidearm that you carry every day. From what I understand, the program can expose you to up to 1,000 different scenarios, and some of them are customizable. Right now we've done active shooter training. We've done where we encounter threats such as burglars. It's basically don't shoot or shoot training. Shoot, don't shoot. And this technology, you actually fire at the movie projected on this mat right here, and your actual ammunition travels right through this mat. There's a system of lasers that are completely covering the front of this rubber mat here, and it logs your reaction time, your hit placement, the accuracy, and a host of other things statistic-wise that can tell you what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. You can go back after the scenario training, sit down with your training sergeant or your training officer, and you can discuss why you're shooting to the left, why you're shooting to the right, why you reacted this way in a certain case, and what you should be doing. And then you have that opportunity to make those changes and make those modifications, and then practice that when we do our monthly trainings. Unfortunately, it's not something you can come in here by yourself and do, but we definitely have the luxury of being able to have it at all. And right now, I'm pretty sure every officer has been through at least a few sequences of the training, and I've even had officers tell me that have been here well beyond my stay here that it's the best training they've ever had as a police officer. It's unbelievable what it's actually enabled us to go through on a training level rather than what we may or may not encounter out on the street. And just preparing you for something that you may or may not ever come across, puts you a step ahead of the game. But it's cool. I don't know how long this mat actually lasts, but you can see there's probably a few thousand rounds through it already. You can wipe it clean. You can see this is a round that's been cleaned already. It just leaves that little pinpoint, and then this is this is one of the newer ones. But I've only had the opportunity to see 2 different scenarios, and they also have another element another scenario where we can shoot moving targets, and it's just a simple, almost video game based, where there's a ball traveling around, different obstacles that are moving. It really kind of trains you to follow through on how you're tracking an object, and we've never been exposed to any type of a movement unless you like go and shoot, trap, or skeet. You've never had any other, as a police officer, any training yet in shooting a moving target. I won't say that applies to everybody, but for the basic training that we're required to go through, we haven't had that opportunity yet, so now we do, and it's a welcome addition. And it's an eye-opening experience too in all these different scenarios. It shows how you yourself are going to react to a little bit of added stress. We can always add physical stress, where we're running around and jogging around and getting out of breath and having heavy breathing and fatigue, and add that and see how we're going to kind of behave under those circumstances. But when you start adding a mental stress, it's something that most of us have not been exposed to yet. And as goofy as it may sound, scenario-based training and watching and shooting at a projection TV, it's definitely been proven valuable to this point.